Welcome back. Now it's time for us to discuss what's up and about. And with the ladies in the room, I'm wondering, when your parents were raising you, what sort of decibels were there in your house?
Decibels.
Yeah, I said decibels because, like, what was the normal vocal tone in your house? Was it high? Was it low? And did it instill fear in you whenever your parents raised their voices at you? That's my question first. What?
All I can remember is, we free.
Okay, that's all you can remember. That was loud.
Yes.
That's mom or dad? Is that mom or dad?
That's my mother.
That's your mom, okay.
Yes.
All right. What about you?
Well, it depends on her mood.
Okay.
That's for my mom.
Yeah.
My dad was not a shouter.
Okay.
And I think that's very, I think a lot of homes can
Balanced,
relate
yeah.
with that.
It's balanced, yeah.
Mothers were more of the, instillers and more of the aggressors, aggressive parenting.
Okay.
But there's always that balance. But yeah.
But do
was
you
my mom.
shout at your kids now?
Oh, there are moments. There are moments.
So I know I do, not as much as some parents do, but I do. But there's a study that says shouting at children is just as harmful as physical or sexual abuse. And this is by a journal called Science Direct. Okay, so the comment section has about 40,000 comments.
Yeah.
40,000. So this really hit home for a lot of parents in different ways. But the issue now is, how can you compare shouting with physical abuse? I know that there's some parents that don't actually hit their children. They don't beat their children, but they shout and it gets the job done.
You know, it's funny because I had the same conversation with a parent over the weekend. As a matter of fact, we met at the salon. So she came with two of her daughters, and the two girls got into a squabble. And then in the course, the elder one sort of pushed the younger one, and she fell. The mom looked, gave her that stare.
That stare, that mother
And
stare.
it made that happen, I could relate. So I was looking at the situation, waiting for what was about to happen. But I knew that in that woman's mind, she wanted to rip that girl into pieces. Exactly, she screamed inside. But I know because she was in public, she tried so hard. And she did a really good job by, holding it back and, controlling her emotions at the point.
Did the child adjust?
So I was also looking, I paid attention to the situation because I also wanted to see not just the mother's reaction, but also the child's reaction. And child was like,
Wow.
hey,
Wow. Wow.
hey, mana, why not shaking? Hey, publico, private, we will beat.
And that is another thing I think a lot of parents pay attention to these days.
Yeah.
Whether they're in public or they're in private. And I honestly feel that it's even better.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say better, or it's more effective
In public.
to treat your child in public. Fine, not in a crazy way, right? You know how they say, oh, those days your mother will look at you and you understand. But these days, parents, kids don't have that.
Let me surprise you, darling. With the girls, they do. When they know that, they just look at me and I give them the look.
Yeah.
Elsie, mommy, I am so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I am so
that is
sorry.
right.
So it is. So
I think
something also happened. Sorry, darling. Happened with the kids, at home, and Eliana pushed Elsie. She's a
taller.
bigger one. So she pushed Elsie. And Elsie was crying.
Oh.
And I came into the sitting room. I said, Eliana, I spanked her. My mother-in-law visited. And then she was like, no,
I don't know why they do that.
I said so that she will now go to school and she'll do it to somebody else.
Yes, now.
So now, that is where I wanted to go. So they say that the kids mirror what we parents do at home. They mirror it in school or in public places when they go out, which has always been a challenge for me, which is why I avoid actually hitting or beating. I also avoid the shouting because I noticed that one of my girls has started sort of shouting at her sister the way I shout at her. So I had to sort of tone it down. So I'm actually a little worried about that. Because in the end, if, for instance, you are someone who constantly beats your child and the child becomes a bully in school, it's the parent that is actually sort of to blame.
So I
Not
think
necessarily. I will say not necessarily.
Okay. Yeah.
My mom literally beat us. Everybody in our house, we had strategic positions.
What?
What?
Okay.
She had, and the thing is, my dad was the extreme opposite. My dad he will not even allow her beat us. So every time we traveled to him, when we're all together on holidays, she used to pilot.
Okay.
No, but because we knew now, okay, daddy's around, everybody misbehaving.
She's counting it for
when you get back to that, the first day we are back, like you stress sleep. When you wake up in the morning, she will give you a list of all the reasons you have been beaten.
Wow.
Seriously. So like it was like, and to be honest, I think it created a proper balance.
Okay.
Because daddy will never tell. My dad was always. I know my dad beat me once though, but with a comb on my hand, very controlled, like.
Wow.
And I will say that even hurt me more than. My mother,
yeah, because
Lord.
So
like,
it means that
really
he was so
upset.
disappointed that he had to.
Exactly. And my dad will always tell you that his mom never, and his mom raised him alone. His mom never beats or raised her voice
on him.
She always like, and I'm like,
But what I wanted to actually quickly say regarding what you just said about children mirroring what their parents do. So yes, and I would say that too much responsibility is usually left to the parents in this regard. As much as, yes, children mirror, we also need to bridge that gap in communicating.
Exactly.
We need to explain to them why. Because with the kids, when they do something wrong, and then I respond in a way that they do not expect, I communicate to them that I am doing this because what you did is wrong.
Okay.
So you need to take away from the lessons. Do not pay attention to the action. Pay attention to the reason, the situation here, which is what that you did something wrong.
And so also, now, is there actually...
And you need to realize that there are consequences.
Do you think there's actual truth to what the Science Journal is saying? That shouting at children is basically equal to physical or sexual abuse?
No, I don't agree.
I think, no, to be honest, I would say it depends, right? Of course, when you read it outright, it seems like there are different types of shouting. For instance, we're talking about the lady that literally abused a guest.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So now when you are vocally abusive, do you understand? And you say things that literally affect the child's personality, character, and things like that, then you can say it can cause probably similar traumas.
Trauma.
And now the reason why I feel a child will mirror a shouting parent and start shouting in communication is if the parent constantly shouts for no reason. So if your child knows that my mother is screaming at me, not screaming, like yelling at me or raising her voice at me because she's upset, then you will know, okay, mommy is upset. Do you understand?
So it depends on what's being said at the time.
That's why it's happening.
Yeah, and then I also need to add that this also calls into question the sort of things that we parents, we need to pay attention to our emotions when we are upset with our kids. So if you know that you cannot control your emotions or control the things that you would say, I think you should take some time out because it's very, very, very important. We've seen how these things has, spawned into, they're growing when they're adults, and then it causes trauma and all sorts. And it affects their mental health as well. So we need to pay attention to our own mental health and emotional health before,
and not even,
with that sort of situation.
Not even only when you're upset with them, because sometimes you might be just generally upset.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what the child is wondering, what did I do?
What did I do? Yeah. So that's what I said. Take care of your own emotional and mental health.
As for me, especially in life and death situations, like I mentioned the story of the balcony. One of my children put her head, shoulder, and leg degrees of the balcony. One first time, second time, third time. I said, excuse me, please. And people were begging me. Beg me. But the thing is, they will say, what was your mother doing?
Exactly, of course.
Anyhow, we would love to hear your thoughts on this. Give us with the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Let's hear what you think about this. We'll be back after this break.